at the forefront of design and fashion. So what better place for the leaders of top global brands to meet and discuss the ever-changing pulse of the global luxury market? Established brands like Valentino, Aquascutum, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Louis.
Too strung out on compliments, confidence. Too strung out on confidence.
Well, I'm a musician, a producer, an artist, a serious style person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You got mad swag.
And I'm a serious style person and a business person. You know, regular guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, also extraordinary and regular at the same time. You know,
yeah.
It just depends on what's going on. I got my start working with Dr. Dre as a consultant, and I had a production company at the time, and I was doing a lot of business with him. He put me in the game. Then I became a recording artist myself with my group Syra.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a part of a group as well, and signed to Kanye West in Good Music, Sony Records, and then we ended up putting some things out. Once the distribution wasn't there, we lost distribution for the whole company at that point. We put out a few independent records, and now I'm doing Tisa, which is my new endeavor. It's music, art, and street fashion. Tisa is an acronym for Taz. It's so Arnold. It's also a Swahili word and an Arabic word.
Okay.
Which means it's Tisa. Tisa is 9. You speak Arabic?
A little bit.
How do you say 9?
How do I say what?
Do you know how to say the numbers?
Oh, it's been a while. I don't know.
Tisa is 9, and then Tisa is Swahili, and that means the 9th born.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 is completion. So, you know, Tisa also means a few different things in different cultures, you know. So,
okay, I like that.
Yeah.
You're very broad. And you're very you have an eclectic taste, and so.
I'm very well studied to a certain degree. I study history and like sounds, words, and you know things, creative things.
So a lot of Latin too, I'm assuming.
So yeah, I mean I speak English.
Yeah, of course.
It's heavily influenced by Latin.
No, that sounds great.
What do I live by? I live by pretty basic principles. Treat people how you want to be treated. Respect your elders. You know what I mean? Like basic things, but these basic principles they go into like my business and my approach to dealing with creativity. You know, I'm a very pragmatic person, but I'm also very over the top. You know, so it's like the balance of being in the middle of two extremes. You know, yin yang, and I'm trying to be in the middle and bring them together.
And what keeps you so balanced? What is that?
Happiness. You know, that's a necessity for peace of mind, and you know, I would like to lead a happy and successful life. You know. Nah, I kind of got over that like 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like 10 years ago. I mean, there's, you know, new things you do. Like, I make music. You know, I'm constantly releasing new ideas. Some things you're not so sure about, but, you know, once you release something, your job is to, once you actually create something, you know, my job is to nurture it and sustain it. Sometimes you have to sustain things for 4 or 5 years or longer before people really accept it. You know what I mean? It's like a child. Like, you know, your children is outside of your home. You know, they're not necessarily loved by the other children or by other people's families. You know, but once you nurture, you feed them and you nurture them, and then you take care of them for a certain amount of time, they're strong enough to stand on their own and, you know, live. It's the same thing with like creative ideas. You know, like Tisa's a baby right now, and in 5 years it will no longer be a baby. It might be a teenager, so to speak, you know, or a young adult.
Yeah.
You it'll be more accomplished or, you know, further down the path.
Yeah, so basically your theory is to let it, I guess, flourish on its own, but
To make sure I'm involved.
You're
I'm
okay.
involved and I'm there. I'm like a parent in the home.
Mm-hmm.
You
Okay.
can't leave your kids at home forever and think they're going to turn out, you know, they're going to adhere to your guidance when you're not even there to guide them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to be present. It's I wouldn't call it as much a lifestyle as it is it consuming my time of my life. You know what I mean? Like it's a 24-hour a day job.
Yeah.
And you know, constant ideas. You know, like you said, I have a team of people around me that I'm always firing my ideas off to, so I could have somebody remember.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, somebody that's present to have the conversation with me, to
Yeah.
get it out of like the infantile stages of just like a random idea and bring it into existence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times have you smoked some weed or drank or been drunk or just had an epiphany and you're like, I want to do this, I want to go back to school, or
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a train across America, and it's just a fleeting idea, it just never really happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's a great
that happens a
idea,
lot.
right? You
Yeah.
know, so the thing is for me to take those things and nurture them and make them real, you know? Yeah, I do. Like, I like Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah.
If people wouldn't consider him an artist, they would consider
I do.
him
I definitely do.
a design. Yeah, well, I like artists when you, to me, is the expression of creation, and to bring forth a finished product or a product
Mm-hmm.
of any sort, whether it's a painting, a baseball cap, a drawing on a piece of paper, you know, music,
Mm-hmm.
you know, those type of things, the arts, you know. I do have a lot of favorite artists, you
Yeah.
know, from music people to fashion people to painters, you
Mm-hmm.
know, to a few. I like different people's architecture work, you know.
Yeah.
What I mean, I just like creative stuff and other people's creations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes I never remember the person's name. I just see something, I'm like, wow, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
It might inspire me, or I might just be in awe and just, you know, just feel good about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. You know, I mean, like, I look at a lot of like houses like Hermes or you know
Mm-hmm.
Chanel, and where they derived a lot of their inspiration from. It's like everything, nature, different philosophies, different religions. You look on a scarf, and you can see the whole. They have certain scarves from Hermes. It's like how Cortez came
Mm-hmm.
to fight Montezuma.
Yeah, it's actually
You know,
like
and
painting.
it's the whole description of the whole, you know, the whole confrontation. You know, they have Moors, you know, African Moors with fezzes on horseback and Moorish regalia.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or things out of India. You know, or you look at Coco Chanel, she has like so many different occult or hidden knowledge. She has so many of those inspirations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In her early work, or she called the Earth Terra, you know, which was one of the names that they once called the planet Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You see that in her artwork, so you're like, wow, I know where her mind is, you know. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, designers and artists are scientists, man.
Yeah.
They're alchemists, you know, they're chemists. They're trying different things at all times. You know, trying to feel good, trying to draw inspiration, trying to channel energy.
Yeah.
You know, channel ideas and different things, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think artists are like conduits for just the spirit of creativity, maybe. Tisa Records is the same, pretty much the same thing as Tisa. It's just we're gonna be dealing with recordings
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to T-shirts and things of that nature.
Okay.
Recordings and you know parties, situations, and nightlife. You know,
Okay.
like a record label, but it's a different approach. You know, because
Yeah.
the music may be free, like most music is, but maybe it comes with a scarf. It
Mhm.
might cost you $40, $50.
Okay.
You know, or a scarf that I would usually sell may cost $400, but I could incentivize the music by making something more affordable. You know, when people can't usually get my products or my items for less than, you know, X amount of dollars, they can get it maybe, you know, with the music or with some of the other things that we do, like, for instance, like maybe a print, you know, a limited print, you know, of some original arts, or, you know, things of that nature, you know, lithographs.
Okay.
It's different things. Tisa Records, it's not your conventional record label, but it follows suit of what a record label once stood for.
Yeah.
You know, which is
Definitely.
delivering quality music to the consumer. But you go about it different ways now, you know what I mean? Like, it's the internet, there's different things going on now, so you can't do the same thing over and over. It doesn't, those things, some of the things don't work anymore. I like Ralph Lauren. You know, I wouldn't say I would model myself after him, but he's naturally inclined to do marketing, and I'm naturally inclined towards some of the same things, you know. And
Well, I noticed your teddy bears are very similar to what Ralph Lauren did back in the
we
day.
can't talk about that right now. No, but yes, I was just a joke. But yeah, and you know, it's so many different people, man. It's, you know, jazz musicians, John Coltrane and Alice Coltrane were really accomplished musicians who made their creativity about being devotional to a spiritual nature. You know, like, I'm inspired by stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, Jimi Hendrix, you know, him being so free and his music transcending music that came before him. You know what I mean? There's so many different things, you know, like different characters that I celebrate and I draw from, you know. You know, I don't know, man, but I'll be doing creative things, you know, and more than likely, hopefully, I'll be at the top of the food chain, you know, and just keep rising and keep spreading and growing, you know. Natural progression. I'm not looking to do this, but I've been steadily, you know, moving.
Yeah.
You know, so who knows, you know?
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.
Good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you. Same to you.
Thank you.
All right.
This is a dream.
Feels good, doesn't it? But the ability to stay young, the ability to enjoy what you enjoyed when you were a kid, not to give up the hope and the excitement is very important.
Well done, sir.
Tisa.